Instagrammer Belle Delphine is selling gamer girl bathwater for $30, and the internet is full of questions like WTF, or why didn't I think of that? Or more importantly, why is it sold out? But no one is asking the really tough questions like, how much do the add-ons cost, such as loose hair, toenail clippings, or what about a combo deal with some used underwear here?
We'll train and make a gamer out of you.
AJ News. Now, as you know, it's a new month, and with each new month, there are new game deals to look out for, and I've got you covered. First up, on PlayStation Plus, you can pick up a copy of Detroit Becoming Human or Horizon Chase Turbo. If you don't like those, I think we can at least agree they're better than the original July title, which had PES 2019 Pro Evolution Soccer instead of Detroit Becoming Human. Now, what's pretty funny here is Konami, the devs behind PES 2019, didn't seem to be aware of the swap out and were quite flustered when asked about it. While no official statement was made by PlayStation, there was quite a backlash against Pro Evolution Soccer being a free game, and some are speculating that PlayStation chose to respond to that backlash with a swap of games. Over on the Xbox side, if you have games with gold, you can pick up Castlevania Symphony of the Night to help round out your Castlevania collection, Inside, which is an incredible 2D puzzle platformer that I highly recommend, Big Crown Showdown, and Meet the Robinsons. There's also 8 new games rotating into Xbox's Game Pass this month, including Undertale, Lego City Undercover, Middle-earth Shadow of War, and more titles that I really don't care about. Over on Nintendo, well, nothing's been announced yet, but wait a few weeks and you're sure to be disappointed with some new NES titles. Ubisoft is having a summer sale until July 8th on a bunch of their games and even some of their merch. This is a pretty great way to pick up some Assassin's Creed games you may have missed at steep discounts, or even the more recent Far Cry 5 that's been heavily discounted. Also, a reminder that the Steam summer sale is still ongoing until July 9th, so be sure to check out both of those stores. Over on the Epic Game Store, you can also pick up a free copy of Overcooked until July 11th, and then after that, Torchlight, a dungeon crawler, will be available. Lastly, if you're an Amazon Prime member or have Twitch Prime, you can pick yourself up a free copy of Yooka-Laylee from the Twitch loot page. There's also a free copy of For the King, The Escapists, and Cultist Simulator up for grab throughout the month of July. Over in Nintendo news, there wasn't too much as we head into a weak summer lineup, but we had the following bits. Fans of Psyduck can finally wear their confused mascot proudly, from shirts to bags to water bottles and a jacket. Accentuate that confused millennial look with a yellow duck that's on the cusp of having his head blow up. Seriously though, this duck perfectly captures the emotion we all have when we look at baby boomers try to use a new piece of technology. Now, I know you Fire Emblem fans got triggered when I said weak summer lineup, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten about this one big Nintendo game launching on July 26. To top up the Fire Emblem hype, Nintendo has confirmed its DLC roadmap, which will trickle out in 4 waves all the way until April 30th, 2020, giving Fire Emblem fans the love they so desperately seek, because apparently giving them 10% of the Smash Ultimate roster just wasn't enough. As for the details of the DLC, the first wave will be available on day 1 and includes new outfits for Byleth. Wave 2 will release on October 31st and add in new battle maps and in-game support items. Wave 3 will add new quests and costumes at the end of December, and finally at the end of April, the last wave will hit, bringing new story content and new characters and location. Each wave will also come with free updates, though those details weren't provided at this time. Daemon EX Machina isn't out yet, but the developer seems to believe it's going to have a fairly sizable fan base, as it's offering a collector's edition of the game in Australia and Europe only for some reason. Because you know, the North American market, the one known for having plenty of wealth and buying everything in excess, always gets skipped when it comes to these excessive collector's edition. Supersize those fries? Yes please. Big gulps? Absolutely. Extra game swag? Oh no, good sir, that's too much for me. I seriously don't get it. Anyways, back to Daemon EX Machina. The kit comes complete with an 18cm mech statue, that's about 7 inches for you Americans, a hanger style box, the game, a steelbook, and a 100-page art book. If you want to treat yourself to something special in North America though, a reminder that you can purchase the massive Daemon EX Machina Joy-Cons, which I'll now be dubbing the Bro-Cons. There's also that massive blue slime controller that lets you play with its nipple cons. And speaking of nipple cons, did you guys see this sick N64 controller tattoo? Bet you that guy would hate it if you played Mario Party 2 with that controller. In other Nintendo news, Nintendo put out a video for those struggling with making levels in Mario Maker 2. In it, the original Super Mario Bros. Director Takashi Tezuka offers 5 pieces of advice, which basically boils down to: start by naming your course, check other courses for inspiration, try other modes, do it with someone else, stop thinking so hard, or my personal piece of advice, don't build anything and just buy a 2D Mario game to play and enjoy instead. Pretty big story coming out of the PlayStation camp this week, as it's been revealed that the PlayStation Network had a severe security vulnerability that could let hackers steal PSN accounts and steal consumers' credit card information. This vulnerability has been around for years. Now, this would be the third time in the last decade that the PlayStation Network makes headlines due to either major security vulnerabilities or because of active hacks. Like, damn PlayStation, you're easier to crack than a Cheeto. Lock that business up. The good news here is if you enable two-step verification on your account, you can protect yourself from this specific vulnerability. In better news, WayForward has been trending this week with 2 new announcements. As has been revealed already, WayForward is working on Shantae 5, and its new opening cinematic was unveiled showcasing a very anime opening like Shantae.
Rise and shine, don't wanna work, I'd rather play. Shake my hips and whip my hair, it's a new day.
Wait. Did you guys see that Smash-shaped window? No way is that coincidental. Could this actually mean Shantae's in Smash? Now, I don't know, but that's a big freaking tease if it is. And if you want to make this even more suspicious, check out the render of Shantae's house in the past. That window is symmetric. So why would they change it to something that coincidental for this trailer? Either WayForward is trolling, or they think they're as clever as anyone gift wrapping Legos who actually believes that no one can guess what's inside. Like, I get it, Aunt Betty, it's Legos, you didn't have to wrap it. The other WayForward news is a new 2D brawler called River City Girls, bringing with it 2 whole new waifu models to fall in love with. Now, aside waifus, the game returns to WayForward's pixel art roots and looks really good. The game is coming to all platforms, except Epic Games Store on September 5th. Sorry, Epic, no waifus for you, only 12-year-old kids. Although on second thought, a lot of waifus are 12-year-old kids, so I guess you're not really missing out on anything. In other indie news, we got an update from Studio MDHR on the DLC for Cuphead, now with the bittersweet name of The Delicious Last Course, which will be releasing in 2020. The trailer was quite low on details, but did reveal 2 new bosses, including Frosty after stubbing his toe, and a mountain giant who really wished he'd shaved his beard last week. EA is being funny again and sharing in an interview that they are sad that they are still perceived as bad guys. Now, it's okay, EA, you might be a bad guy, but that doesn't make you bad guy. Actually, it kind of does. If you didn't break your game up into pieces and stash them behind paywalls, who would? If you didn't push loot boxes so hard, international governments wouldn't have paid so much attention to video games. And if you didn't call out single-player games for being dead, then who would we have to laugh at? See, it's good that you're a bad guy, because otherwise I wouldn't have a running joke on this show, and that would make us all very sad. So thank you, EA. Finally, in strange gaming news around the world, Japan is hiring Capcom Cops, or more specifically, working with Capcom to create a Street Fighter branded campaign to hire new cops in the Japanese police force. Now, as cool as this sounds, I'd imagine the last thing you want running through a cop's head during a heated situation is their wild fantasy of taking down criminals with a Hadouken. Now, to clarify, this promo is specifically for the Cybercrime Investigation Unit, which makes this whole campaign even more ridiculous because streets or fighting have nothing to do with cybercrime. Maybe they're really just looking for gamers or thick thigh enthusiasts. And that's it for this week. I'll see you again next week with an update on all the best gaming news. And until then, keep it classy.